Muslim faithful celebrate the festival of sacrifice across the nation as messages of peace and unity hinged. This and more on Panorama today. I'm Elizabeth Omori. We'll be right back. President Bola Tinubu congratulates Nigerian Muslims and the global Muslim Ummah on the celebration of this year's Eid al-Kabir. President Tinubu emphasizes that Eid al-Kabir represents the high point of the sacred first 10 days of Zulhijjah, a period filled with opportunities for acts of worship and good deeds. He says while the festival is marked with joy and celebration, its true significance lies much deeper, as he notes that it calls for reflection on its core values of sacrifice, devotion and selflessness. The president urges Muslims to embody virtues of the festival, just as Prophet Ibrahim exemplified with complete submission to Allah's will. President Tinubu calls on Muslims to use the occasion and renew their commitment to the ideals of the Eid. Eid al-Kabir, President Tinubu says, should remind Nigerians of responsibilities beyond faith, ensure resilience, tolerance, compassion and dedication to the progress of the country. He reaffirms his commitment to values of the Eid and expresses appreciation for the faith, patience and perseverance of Nigerians as his administration implements bold reforms. As the Muslim faithful celebrates this festival of sacrifice, President Tinubu is calling on Nigerians to always remember the less privileged for the general good of society. The president spoke to journalists after the Eid prayer at the Don Barracks in Lagos.
Well, as we make sacrifice, we should remember to pray and give to those who are very vulnerable. In the spirit of peace, must come together, be one another's brother's keeper, give your neighbors, love everyone equally. We must pray hard for our troops who are keeping us safe, making the sacrifices in the challenges that we face in terrorism and banditry today. We must pray for them specifically, and we must remember their sacrifices and continue to be of good behavior.
Thank you. And Panorama continues with Chika in our Enugu Network Center. Chika.
President of the Senate, Jose Lakbavio, has extended his warm felicitations to the Muslim Ummah, praying that the sacred festival of Eid may usher peace, love and unity to the nation. In a statement, the Senate President said the spirit of Eid al-Kabir reminds us of the importance of sacrifice, compassion and kindness, noting that Muslims commemorate the willingness of Prophet Ibrahim to sacrifice his son. Let it serve as a reminder of the values of obedience, faith, and selflessness. Ababio urged all Nigerians to embody these virtues, fostering a culture of peace, understanding, and cooperation, and to also recognize the challenges of the nation faces, as well as the efforts of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration to address them through economic and physical reforms, which, though difficult, but are yielding results and paving the way for a brighter future. He encouraged Nigerians to remain patient, resilient, and committed to our collective progress, urging that this occasion be used to promote interfaith harmony, national unity, and development, as he prayed Allah to bless our nation and grant us peace and prosperity. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu expresses heartfelt greetings to all Muslim faithful across the nation as they mark the joyous occasion of this year's Eid al-Kabir. This is in her Salah message, where she described Eid al-Kabir as a time of deep reflection on the values of sacrifice, obedience, compassion, and faith. The First Lady also highlights the celebration as a time of showing kindness and generosity, urging Muslims to remember their neighbors and extend a hand of love and support, especially to the less privileged. While wishing them a happy Eid al-Mubarak, she calls on them to pray for their country for continued peace, stability, and progress. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Butsekun, extends warm greetings to the Muslim Ummah across Nigeria on the occasion of Eid al-Adha. In a statement, the IGP highlights the spiritual significance of Zulhaj period and urge Nigerians to uphold virtues of tolerance, compassion, and peaceful coexistence in line with the teachings of Islam. The IGP emphasizes that these virtues are essential for national unity and collective progress. To ensure a safe and peaceful celebration, the IGP orders enhanced security deployments nationwide. Commissioners of police, tactical commanders, and assistant inspectors general are directed to secure Eid prayer grounds, recreational centers, and public space. Officers are also tasked with intelligence-led patrol, surveillance, and strategic stop and search operations to prevent any security threats during these festivities. The IGP calls on Nigerians to remain law-abiding and celebrating peace and brotherhood. He encourages reflection, gratitude, and support for the needy in line with the essence of Eid al-Adha. Reaffirming the Nigeria Police Force's commitment to public safety and national cohesion, the IGP wishes all Muslim faithful a joyous and fulfilling celebration. Enugu State Governor Dr. Peter Mbah has enjoined Muslim faithful and Nigerians to uphold the virtues of faith, obedience, selflessness, and empathy, which he described as the essence of Eid al-Kabir. He stressed the need for every Nigerian to be the border keeper, assuring that his administration will continue to build a state that affords equal opportunity to all. In his Eid message, Dr. Mbah urged the faithful to reflect on the core lessons of Eid and extend love, support, and compassion to those around them, especially the less privileged. While acknowledging contributions of the Muslim Ummah in Enugu State, Dr. Peter Mbah reiterated his administration's resolve to continue to promote and invest in policies and initiatives that foster inclusiveness, religious harmony, and equal opportunities for all. Muslim faithful in Enugu today joined their counterparts world over to commemorate the Eid al-Kabir ceremony of the Islamic religion. They were enjoined by Islamic leaders to use the period to uphold the virtues of love, generosity, and tolerance. Susan Eze is our guide.
Just a few minutes ago, this venue was filled to the brim with Muslim faithfuls. They've just concluded the Eid prayer. And earlier this morning, before 8 a.m., we saw them coming in trickles. But as time progressed, the whole place got filled as they trooped in their numbers. And before the prayers began, the people were admonished and they were reminded of the significance.
We do apologize. That is much we can take from our Enugu Network Center. And now we'll move on still on the celebration. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria believe Eid al-Adha, the feast of sacrifice, offers profound lessons for peaceful coexistence and nation building. They insist central to the celebration are values of unity, compassion, selflessness, and devotion, exemplified by Prophet Ibrahim's willingness to sacrifice his son for Allah. Lydia Sampson brings us details.
In the spirit of the season, the guests urge Muslims to embrace diversity, foster social bonds, and extend kindness beyond their immediate cycles. They advise Muslims to ensure they physically attend Eid prayers, stressing that there is nothing like virtual Eid prayers, as symbolized by the tradition after Eid prayers to meet and greet one another.
It signifies for me obedience to our husbands when they command us in alignment with what's in the Sharia. And also, as a woman, it's the season where we go into the kitchen to actually prepare the ram, which was, what was given by the gift that was given to Prophet Ibrahim by Allah to slaughter in the place of his obedience when he obeyed Allah in wanting to slaughter Prophet Ismail, his son.
It becomes a responsibility upon us by the spirit of this Eid that we coexist with our neighbor peacefully. We must be our brother's keepers in every sense of it. In terms of needs, we must assist them. In terms of support, we must support them. In fact, when we realize that things are going wrong against them, against their interests, we get their back, hold their backs for them.
The guest wants Nigerians to escalate the values of sacrifice, humility, unity, and peaceful coexistence as essential for national progress, irrespective of challenges.
Thank God for the rain. We hope for a bumper harvest. We pray for bumper harvest. But this is the time leaders should dedicate resources to alleviate or at least reduce the pains of poverty.
They know that Eid al-Adha's message transcends beyond religion, promoting empathy and collective responsibility, which are vital for building inclusive, resilient societies. By living out these principles daily, they believe Nigerians can strengthen social cohesion and contribute meaningfully to nation building. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
In other news, more than 2,000 people in Kano State have benefited from the latest phase of the Presidential Palliative Support Program as part of ongoing efforts to promote social welfare and inclusivity across the country. The initiative under President Tinubu's Renewed Hope agenda aimed at providing essential support and reinforcement national goals of equitable development and citizens' empowerment. Awal Salisu has the details.
The distribution is part of the federal government's ongoing efforts to bring essential relief items to support citizens across the country. The beneficiaries, including members of Tinubu support groups selected from the 44 local government areas of Kano State.
I'm hereby asking all the Tinubu support group to continue to work for the success of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Abdullahi Bala is among the beneficiaries that received a 25 kg bag of rice and tokens. Abdullahi expressed gratitude for the support, describing the intervention as timely given the challenges faced by low-income families.
I feel overwhelmed and happy.
For Bala and his likes, the gesture not only addresses immediate needs, but also reinforces the administration's commitment to supporting its grassroots base. In Kano, Awal Salisu, NTA News.
You're watching Panorama on NTA. Let's take a break. The news continues shortly. Thanks for staying with us. As the second phase of World Bank-supported Africa Centers of Excellence for Development Impact, ACE Impact project nears its conclusion, its transformative impacts on Nigerian universities came under scrutiny. Hosted by the National Universities Commission, vice-chancellors and key stakeholders from participating institutions came together to assess the achievements of the ACE Impact initiative, extract critical lessons learned, and develop strategies for sustaining the center's progress post-project. Since its inception, the ACE project has significantly strengthened Nigeria's higher education landscape, enhanced institutional capacity through strategic investments in teaching, infrastructure, and innovations. The center have produced highly skilled graduates in areas such as genomics, infectious diseases, public health, engineering, agriculture, and ICT.
We'll be at the forefront of integrating lessons from the ACE Impact project into our regulatory framework and performance benchmarking.
New labs have been built, state-of-the-art equipment have been imported. All manner of new innovations have been brought to bear on the system.
So what this program in summary has done, for instance, is actually converting Nigerian institutions from knowledge consumer to knowledge producers. We've gone from institutions that used to consume knowledge, but to institutions that produce knowledge that the world is now using.
Nigeria currently hosts over 10 active ACE Impact Centers located in leading universities across the country. The ACE Impact project is not only building centers of academic excellence, it is positioning Nigerian universities as engines of innovation, problem solving and sustainable development in Africa. As part of its continued commitment to promoting inclusive dialogue and sustainable development in the Niger Delta, the Embassy of Denmark in Nigeria, in collaboration with academic associates, Peaceworks, organized a two-day policy dialogue and exhibition on green and blue economy in the Niger Delta. The event, which held in Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, under its ongoing project, Advancing Community Capacity to Mitigate Climate Change and Develop Green and Blue Economy in the Niger Delta, brought together stakeholders from government, civil society and local communities to discuss strategies for climate adaptation, environmental conservation and sustainable livelihoods in the region.
Endowment of crude oil and gas. Bayelsa State is also blessed with arable land and large water bodies for the development of green and blue economy. Institutional lapses, poor agro-business management, climate change, environmental degradation, and piracy have been identified as major impediment to the development of the green and blue economy. The Embassy of Denmark in Nigeria stepped forward to deepen solutions with the funding of Advancing Community Capacity to mitigate climate change impacts and develop green and blue economy in Niger Delta, just as the program is implemented by academic associates Peaceworks.
Denmark is very passionate about sustainability and about supporting partnerships and development in climate change. It's really good to see the intersection between the government, the private sector, and of course the farmers and the fisherfolk.
This policy dialogue is to provide that policy clarity, on the policy, on where farmers and fisher folks can start from, so that everybody knows what it takes to be a good farmer and an entrepreneur.
Our mandate and priority is to ensure and continue to ensure that we create an enabling environment for these very talented, highly gifted farmers.
Suggestions have come forward to government, and we will look introspect and then also scale up our game.
We have really benefited a lot.
When we apply for the farming, we will see improve.
We are into production of quick ogbono soup. Now the quick ogbono soup, we have two varieties. One is original taste. The other one is with seafood.
Executive Director, AAPW, Dr. Judith Borden Asuni, who joined the conversation virtually, called for a more robust collaboration to upscale the successes recorded thus far. Ebinimi Z. Temiola, NTA News.
Now, talking health, it has been the resolve of the federal government to tackle medical tourism and improve the health care services across the country. In line with this, Governor Sheriff Oborewori is upgrading the quality of healthcare services in Delta State, especially in reducing maternal infant mortality and morbidity rates, with the inauguration of a multi-million naira medical equipment at the Central Hospital, Warri. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development performed the inauguration. Susan Esu reports.
State-of-the-art facilities include 8 hemodialysis machines, 25 4D user-friendly ultrasound scanner, and 2 German-manufactured rugged CT scan machine. These healthcare devices are distributed across the 3 senatorial districts in the state significantly to boost diagnostic and treatment capabilities at government-owned health institutions.
This administration is determined to ensure that our hospitals and primary health centers are properly equipped to deliver quality, effective, and affordable health.
The Commissioner for Health, Dr. Joseph Onajeme, described the equipment rollout as a milestone in Delta's healthcare journey.
After 0 consultation among the main health facilities in the state. The Dimifit Asaba Specialist Hospital had a functioning CT scan. Mother and child of Walero also have a functioning CT scan.
The equipment were inaugurated by the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo. From Warri, Susan Esu, NTA News.
In response to the devastating Mokwa flood incident, the National Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission has provided relief materials to victims of the natural disaster. Acting Managing Director of the Commission, Jimo Haruna, who led a delegation to commiserate with the victims, promised continued support. Fatima Aliu reports.
The visit by the management of NIPADEC to Mokwa was majorly to address the urgent critical humanitarian needs of the survivors of the May 28 flood disaster, which claimed lives and property. NIPADEC, led by its acting managing director, Jimo Haruna, supported the victims with relief materials ranging from beddings, treated mosquito nets, life jackets, food items to toiletries. This is in addition to the donation of 5 million naira to cushion the effects of the natural disaster.
We are at the verge of rolling out medical outreaches to communities of Hypertech to see how we can actually intervene in form of provision of basic medical needs.
The visit was also an opportunity to sensitize the people on the impending flood predictions by the NIMET and the need to take necessary precautionary measures. Fatima Aliu, NTA News.
Sports update is next on our lineup with Olumide Eguntola.
The Super Eagles of Nigeria and their counterpart from Russia are set to make history Friday 8 p.m. Nigerian time as they face off for the first time in an international friendly match in Moscow. Anticipation is high for what promises to be a compelling encounter between two sides riding on waves of recent success. Although the draw of Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman will be absent, Nigeria's squad remains packed with talent.
From the performances of the Super Eagles at the Unity Cup, I think they should be able to get a win against the Russian side today. I'm also expecting one or two features of the NPFL players in the Super Eagles lineup, especially in the middle of the pack and also the right back.
From the UEFA Nations League, defending champion Spain beat France 5-4 at the Stuttgart Arena in the second semi-final of the UEFA Nations League to set up a showdown with Portugal in the final on Sunday. Spain led 4-0 and 5-1, but France refused to give up and almost completed a sensational comeback. In basketball, Rivers Hoopers have boosted their roster with two key defensive signings ahead of the 2025 Basketball League Africa BAL, which begins this weekend in South Africa. Rivers Hoopers, who secured a bronze medal in the 2024 edition held in Kigali, are placed in top group that includes FUS Rabat, Al-Ittihad Alexandria, and Stade Malien. And in tennis, the question stakeholders are asking is who will be crowned the Queen of Roland Garros in the 2025 French Open final on Saturday, as world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka faces world number 2 Coco Gauff, who has a chance to become the first American woman to win the French Open since Serena Williams accomplished defeat in 2015. With sports update, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
And sports update with Olumide ends Panorama this afternoon. Thank you so much for your time. I'm Elizabeth Omori. Good afternoon.